Hi guys, welcome to part 2 of this beautiful review of Pretty Little Liars season 5. Oops, upside down, wrong way, my bad. Remember, it's now on DVD. You can watch it on Netflix and you can also get it on iTunes. Always go support the show. So this half of this part will be about reviewing season A of this review. So let's get started. So I'm just gonna read from this and let's see where we go. So this happens straight from the finale of season 4, and I'm just gonna read the little overview that I have here on Wikipedia. Yes, I'm using Wikipedia, but anyway, the girls try to adjust to the new world in which Allison is very much alive, while still trying to keep up with Ali's new lie about her whereabouts. Over the last 2 years, they tried to live their lives free from A after Arya manages to save them from Shauna. So if we go back to and we get to review, we actually get to see this in the first episode, but according to Ezra, the person who shot him was Shauna, and most of all of this is part of the first half of the season. So but anyway, the roof shooter in New York. The girls think Shauna was A, and with her gone, they no longer worried about A. However, A returns, blowing up the Kavanaugh's house and leaving the liars more afraid than ever. With Allison back, Arya, Emily, Hannah, and Spencer notice how their friendship has changed since Allison's disappearance. So other residents in Rosewood also deal with Allison coming home. Let me just put this back a little bit so you guys can still see my face. Coming home, and it leads to Moran making an army against her, consoling of basically she gathers all the people that Ali harassed, all the people that Ali actually harassed back in the day, all got a group, and that's including Paige. And we also see Spencer's sister in that group too. Now the liars try to figure out who killed Mrs. De Laurentiis, and if there is a connection between her and the girl who is buried in Allison's grave, which we found out was Bethany Young, as we all know. So she's been in Allison's grave. So who is Bethany Young, basically? With Allison back, Hannah starts to have an identity crisis, and in the process, with Caleb being back from Ravenswood, which was a show but got cancelled after 1 season, and I'm gonna go grab it just to see why and just to see the story, but there's something behind it as well. And this is when Allison's moved in with Hannah for a little bit. Arya struggles with the guilt after the injury in New York, where she killed Shauna to save the girls. She gets help from Ezra and slowly starts to reconnect with him. Arya also begins to volunteer at Bradley in order to find out information about Bethany Young, who was a patient there. Tension begins to swell between her and Hannah, while Hannah also recurs what happened in New York to the new girl at school, Sydney. Emily tries to deal with her breakup with Paige while struggling her feelings towards Allison. She also helps the new girl, Sydney, with her swimming until she finds out that Sydney knows Jenna. While Spencer deals with her parents splitting up, and they do split up, and finding out what Melissa knew about the night Allison disappeared. Following several leads to find out more about Bethany, she learns about Mrs. Dorantis had spent more time with her. Furthermore, can't pronounce the name properly. Sorry guys. Melissa reveals that she was one who buried Bethany because she was trying to protect Spencer and believed that Spencer killed Bethany. So basically, as we know from last season and the season finale, if I say that one on time, I'm gonna kick myself. Allison basically explained that Spencer was incredibly high on speed, and she basically sent her to bed, so there was no possibility of her killing Bethany Young. So let's continue. As the season progressed, the four girls began to feel unconcerned about Allison and whether she is telling them the truth. And as Allison begins to lose their trust, the friendship hits a breaking point when Allison has to identify herself, her so-called kidnapper, and the girls realize that Allison lied to them the entire time that she has been back. They ultimately decided that she can't be trusted, and they came away to confess to the police. However, A stops them before they go with the plan, and this is when the lies go out and that Allison has gone rogue, and this is when they team up with Mona. So I'm gonna stop that right there because that's where basically where it stops. Now, just before I go on to part B, let me just read the rest of that. Teaming up with Mona, they discover that the police have a suspect, Spencer, of killing Bethany Young, and that Mrs. Dorantis was having an affair with Bethany Young's father. Mona tells the girls that she thinks Allison's A, so basically this is when Mona is killed, and this is when Spencer is arrested for Bethany Young's murder. So basically and in How I Stole Christmas, this is basically when it starts to set out most of the next part of the series. So I'm taking this to my grave. This is the episode, and this is to the Christmas special that they did. It's taking this one to the grave is when at the end of this episode is when Mona was actually presumably was killed. So, and we see almost the end of the episode of Mona getting killed. So that is part A. This is part A of season 5, and I'll be back for the next half of season 5.